Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be continuing into part 2 of What If Beerus arrived after GT. With the timeline being much different, the arcs will go on differently. Today, we'll be with the group of fighters on Earth, as they'll be facing a foe that no one would have been expecting. If you haven't seen part 1, there's a title card where you can go and check it out and see what happened in the last part. But today, we'll be going into the Moreau arc. I also own a Discord for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe get out some of your own ideas of what ifs, and maybe in the future I could do them. Check in the link description down below. Without further ado, let's dive into part 2 of What If Beerus arrived after GT. Where we left off, Vegeta, Goten, Trunks, and Majub left with Beerus to go train on his planet to continue to grow stronger, where Gohan decided to stay and train up the younger fighters with the help of Krillin and Tien. Pan and Bra saw growth in their strength and even managed to obtain the Super Saiyan form. Marin was behind of the two, with being just a normal human, but she didn't let that get to her. Krillin and Tien were good training partners for Gohan, despite their age, and slowly Gohan was able to get back into his mojo for training and growing stronger. One day during a training session with all the fighters, a mysterious space pod crashes into Earth, and they all rally up to go check it out in case if it's a threat to the planet. A mysterious person comes out of the space pod. He looks very injured as his uniform he had is all destroyed and is covered by a robe. He looks over to see all the Z fighters. As he calls for help, he gets surrounded by Gohan, Krillin, and Tien as they ask him to explain who he is. He says his name is Beerus and that he is the last remaining Galactic Patrol member left in the universe. They're all confused as they never heard anything about a Galactic Patrol. He explained that they were basically the space police, stopping any dangerous people that could cause major problems to the universe. He then explains how all things went down. Moreau ended up escaping their prison, and with his magical abilities, he then would go to planets absorbing its energy to gain more and more power, and grew strong enough to deal with any Galactic Patrol member, and wiping them all out besides himself. And then he broke out all of the prisoners that were captured, and ever since that, they have been out in space causing havoc for years, and Moreau has grown so powerful that their only hope now is Boo with his magical abilities that could counter Moreau's magical powers. Hearing this, Gohan says that they know about the whereabouts of Boo. They would head to Bulma so that she could contact Whis, as they would need Oob to return to Earth. Once Oob arrived on Earth, he asked Gohan what was going on, as Gohan caught him up with everything and introduced him to Beerus. Beerus is confused as he says that that is not Boo, but Gohan explains how Oob is a good reincarnation of Evil Boo, and in the past, he finally fused with Majin Buu, so now Oob has the full power of Buu with all his magical abilities. Hearing this, Beerus is somewhat disappointed, as the reason he needed Buu was because he needed the Grand Supreme Kai. Since back then, a million years ago, it was him and the other Supreme Kais who ended up locking away Moreau, and the Grand Supreme Kai was the one who used his godlike abilities to take away Moreau's magic, and he knew that Buu absorbed all the Kais years ago. Oob said that he could maybe try to communicate with Buu to see if they could bring out the Grand Supreme Kai. Beerus cuts in saying that they don't have enough time, as the longer they wait, the stronger Moreau gets. Gohan asks if he knew what Moreau's plan was, and Beerus says that his plan is to find the Dragon Balls and has been hopping from planet to planet to find them to wish back for his full magical potential. Instantly, Gohan gets hopeful, saying that they know exactly what planet the Dragon Balls are at, and they could head over there and prepare for him if he would make it to Namek. With this idea, Beerus, Gohan, Oob, Pan, and Bra would all go to Namek, with the Earthlings staying on Earth, as they would need someone to protect the planet. Gohan wasn't so sure about bringing his and Vegeta's daughter, but they were not taking no for an answer. They all hop into Beerus' spaceship after being repaired by Bulma. Then they begin to head out. While on their way to Namek, Majub would be meditating the entire time, trying to get into contact with Buu in his mind, and would manage to do so. He discussed to Buu about the current situation, but Buu said that he already knew, and then Buu converted into the Grand Supreme Kai. He and Oob had a talk, where the Grand Supreme Kai explained how he ended up defeating Moreau, but it did cost him his godlike powers, and really made him much weaker. With the fusion he did with Buu, it was permanent. It is all up to Oob, as he really is the only one capable of taking down Moreau, but once he does, he will lose the godlike powers that he has, and only be able to have Buu's magical abilities. Oob wakes up and goes to tell the others that he was able to talk to the Grand Supreme Kai, but when he sees the others, they all see planet Namek slowly dying, as Moreau already made his presence on the planet. They quickly land as they all head to where the battle is going on, as they see Moreau killing most of the Namekians. Currently, his appearance is his perfected form. As he has so much time to absorb plenty of energy from planets, he gained back his youth and power. He is surprised that Beerus brought more people for him to absorb, as Moreau is very confident that no one in the universe can stop him. The Saiyans try to transform into Super Saiyans, but quickly notices that they cannot do that. With Moreau being much more powerful, he could also absorb energy much more quickly. Moreau notices that Oob does not show any fatigue from his energy being stolen, and asks who he is. Oob gets in a fighting stance saying that he is the protector of Earth and the person who will bring him back into prison, as he charges right at Moreau and their fight begins. Moreau is confused as he cannot take any energy from this person, and Sue concludes that he has magical abilities like him. This fight is heavily on Oob's side, since his magical and godlike powers are much more stronger than Moreau's. For the first time in years, Moreau gets scared as this is the first fighter that is able to fight against him and not have his energy being absorbed. Moreau tries to back up, making distance from Oob. At this point, he did not yet make his wish, so he is not at his full potential. Moreau does notice that Oob is not using his magical abilities at its fullest, because if he did, Moreau would have lost with no time, and he is right. Oob doesn't have the complete full handle of his full potential. With all his special abilities he got, he isn't even sure if he could trap Moreau, as he doesn't know how to control that amount of power. The chase continues as Moreau absorbs more energy from Namek, to the point where the planet begins to self-destruct. Then Moreau makes a plan. They both stop, as Oob is ready to continue to fight, but Moreau states that if he continues to fight him now, the planet and everyone else will die, and too will the Dragon Balls. He will tell him the location where he hid the Dragon Balls he has found, and they could use them to save the planet. Oob is distressed with the decision as she isn't sure what to do, but then he would think about what Goku would do and allow Moreau to escape so that he could save the planet and everyone else on it. Quickly, Oob goes to the Dragon Balls and head to the last village to use the Dragon Balls and asks them to make Namek not be destroyed and to bring everyone back who was killed by Moreau. Porunga would grant the wish and Namek would be brought back to normal. The group would gather up and Beerus would ask what had happened, and Oob explained it all as he looked disappointed. Moreau and the others told Oob he shouldn't feel disappointed as he made the right choice, saving everyone. Oob is not confident enough as he doesn't think he could tap into the same power that the Grand Supreme Kai had. Grand Elder Mori went up to the fighters and thanked them for saving their people and the planet. As he looks at Oob, telling him that he might be able to help him with his predicament. He takes him to his house as he places his hand on Oob's head. Mori struggles a bit, but manages to unlock Oob's true potential, as he feels a massive power boost. Mori was impressed with how much power this kid has, as it's not a normal human. Gohan remembered getting his potential unlocked and it did give him a major boost in power, and thought that maybe this might help Oob be able to use every ability that he has to its fullest. Oob thanks Grand Elder Mori, as he asks Mori if he can use the last wish. Oob would wish for Porunga to transport him to the location of Moreau, as the wish is granted, to the dismay of others as now they have to go look for Oob. Moreau is shocked on how he was able to find him, as Oob wasted no time rushing in and their fight continues. But this time Oob is using all of his magic at his full potential, and Moreau can see it. The fight is very one-sided, with Moreau not being able to do any damage to Oob. With his newfound power and confidence, Oob uses his abilities well, as if he had them for his whole life. Moreau is in disbelief as he thought he could never lose. He grows angry, trying anything, but at this point it does nothing. Then Oob powers up as he begins using his power to take away all of Moreau's power and magic, and then begins trapping him. Moreau tries to tell Oob that if he traps him again, he would lose a lot of his strong powers, and would just be a normal mortal instead of being up there with the gods. Oob without a second thought continues, saying that he doesn't care if he does lose his power as he can continue growing stronger on his own. Oob finishes capturing Moreau as he reverted to his older look, being powerless. Oob tells Moreau that he will return to prison and live out the rest of his life there. Then suddenly a spaceship crashes on the planet, as Oob thinks it was the group, but then comes out a mysterious person that he doesn't know. He has teal hair color with an eyepiece and red eyes. Oob asks him to identify himself, but the mysterious person stays silent as he aims at Moreau, looking as he was about to kill him. Oob quickly rushes at the unknown person, ready to protect Moreau, but he is taken down with ease when the mercenary hits Oob on his vital points. Oob is on the floor in major pain, as the mercenary tells him to stay out of his way as he has a job to do. Moreau asks to not kill him, but the mercenary, without hesitation, aims and takes out Moreau, and as quickly as he arrived, he left without another word. The others finally landed on the planet by Oob to check if he was okay, as he asked him what had happened. Oob would try to get back up, and he asks Beerus if he knew about the person he saw, and he explained how he looked like. Beerus then sighed, saying that his name was Granola. For the past few years, he has been hunting down the escapees from their prison ever since they broke out, and is upset that with one problem being dealt with, another one came up, and they're gonna have to start looking for Granola now. And that's where we're gonna leave it off for now. Tell me how you think about the second part and how I did with the Moreau arc. What do y'all think about how the group managed to deal with Moreau? How else is the universe in danger? And what are the other villains from Super are up to right now? With Oob being weakened after losing his godlike powers, what will the future store for him now? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part. See ya.